Okay, let's have a little look at how we create a very simple stop frame animation. Stop frame in as much as each of the individual frames or each of the individual files has got a different movement in it. So that's what we're going to create. And it will look, when it's working, it will look something like this. And as you can see, as it's moving through the different frames, it's creating that illusion of animation. So what we've done to make that work is we've taken one of the tutorials that we've got up on My City, the Mr. Melonhead one, which shows you how to select different areas out of an image. And we're going to have to make sure they're all on different layers. So that's the important point here. So we can move them independently of each other to create the animation. And we're going to start by saving the first frame, which is obviously the head in its first position. So if we go up to here, we'll do a save as, and we'll go in and make sure that we're saving it as a JPEG. And in there on my desktop, I've got a stop frame and it's number 1, and I'm going to save that. Okay, I'll replace the one I've got the eggs. Okay, then I'm going to now go and move the bow tie, the pasta bow tie. So I've got to edit, transform, and I'll spin that up to there. And also what I was doing was I was moving the hat, or the mushroom hat, and this time I'm going to use the free transform tool, making sure I'm on the right layer, of course. Transform tool. Here we need to move this anchor point, otherwise it's going to rotate from the center and not look correct. Your anchor point might be turned off. So if you're up here, you can see turning on, turning off. I think by default it's off, so you've got to remember to turn that on. And then you can just drag it down to there. And then you can then use your, you can double click in there, we'll fix that. And we'll go and save as, make sure it's a JPEG. Okay. And then we'll just pop that in there as number 2. Okay. Okay. 2. And then I'm going to go back up through my history, window history, if you're not familiar with that. And I'm just going to correct and put the mushroom back to its original position. Back there. Okay, because I want it to move back for my 3rd frame. And then I'm going to go back down to my pasta shape. And I'm going to do another rotation of that. So go to image, rotate, and did the whole image that time. Pasta, go edit, transform, clockwise. There we go. And now I'm going to go and save that. Was number 3. Okay. And then my next rotation is going to be sending my pasta shape down to the bottom. Okay. And tilt the hat. Oops, just get it onto the mushroom. The other way. There we go. And then I can save that. number 4. Okay, and so on and so on. So I just keep going, creating the movements, creating the frames. Now then I'm going to use some of the frames I had saved earlier now. So I'm just going to close what we've done down. We don't need any of this anymore. So I'm just going to close all of these down. And if you go up to scripts, so from the file menu, there's a thing called scripts. I do have this all written down on my city for you to remind you where all of this is. Load files into stack, and then browse. And I'm going to go and get the one that I built earlier. Where I've got 7 of them in there. I'm going to use the shift key and hold to select them all. And I'm going to bring them all in. There they all are. I'm going to press OK. And with any luck, they should all be loading up now into their own individual layer. Now this is already turned on. I'm just going to turn the create frame off for a second. So if I go up to view, so window, and take the timeline off, that's what you'll be confronted with when you start using it. And then over here, we've got all the different, or the different frames brought in as different images. So now what I need to do is go and create the animation itself. So if I go up to window and turn on the timeline, then I get a choice to create a frame animation or a video timeline. We're just going to keep it very simple. The video timeline is obviously you can do a lot more with that, but then you're kind of starting to move into the sort of territory of After Effects and proper animation programs, and it's not as good as those, but more complex and starts to do some of the sort of, has some of the functionality of a program like After Effects. But we're wanting to keep it dead simple at the moment and just deal with individual files and frames. So we're going to create that. And then what we're going to do is once we're in there, we're going to go and click on that. Okay. Now then, at the moment, it's just put in the first image from the first layer up here. So over here, we have this option is to make frames from layers. There we go. So now we've got each of our different layers playing in sequence. Okay. We could do a few things with this. We can reverse the frames. Won't be much different to what we're doing here because they're all going in a loop, which is effectively what you want on a GIF animation. You'll see down here, it's playing forever. And that's really what you're looking for when you're building a GIF. You want it to be looping back to the beginning, so it looks like a continuous animation. We can actually, if you wanted to, change the speed as well. Yeah, if I take it down to 2 seconds, you'll see the whole thing now will be playing a little bit slower. It's not really as effective going slowly. It doesn't quite have the movement because I was quite crude with the rotation there, just for demonstration purposes. I'd probably have to do more increments to get it all playing a lot smoother. Okay. So back to there. Oops. I'm just clicking on there, holding down. I won't have any delay. I like it playing nice and fast. Okay. Then finally, once you're happy with it, you can actually go and save it as save it as, or sorry, export it as rather, as save for web legacy, okay? And in there, you'll get the option of saving it as a GIF. And that'll be an animated GIF. So I'm just going to stop the screen share for a minute and then select a browser window just to show you how it all looks and how you can actually look at it. So I'm just going to stop the screen share for 2 seconds. And then I'm just going to go and hopefully find a browser window. Anyone will do, that should do it. I'll share that. And then I'm going to open a file. And on the desktop is a StopFrame. And there you can see you've got the animation plan as a GIF file. A browser will open up any image file that you care to put into there. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing just now. And I'm going to stop that video.